is the iPhone 10. On the right is the OnePlus 6. In this first photo, you could see the tree's a little greener for the OnePlus 6, a little darker on iPhone 10, but the sky and the actual grass looks a little more pleasing to me for Apple's device on this photo. So I would take the iPhone 10 here. On this next one, I like the reflection on the water and the reflection on the wood from the sun for the iPhone 10, but the water doesn't look quite as real as it did and the OnePlus 6. So I like the OnePlus 6 overall here. On this next photo, it's pretty much a wash. They're both about even, but I would say that the iPhone 10 has a little bit better of a sky, and the way the sun is coming off the wood there is a little bit better again on the iPhone 10. Now this next one, I couldn't really decide which one was better. The colors were a little bit more vibrant on the OnePlus 6, a little bit duller on the iPhone 10, but the shadows were better for the 10. So it's a pretty much an equal photo here. Next up, again, pretty much equal again. I really couldn't distinguish too much differences, a little bit more detail maybe in the bricks for the iPhone 10 and in the dirt, but not much difference here. Now I prefer the iPhone 10 here as the tarmac was a little bit darker and that was closer to reality. The OnePlus 6 just brightened it up a little bit too much, so I would take the iPhone 10 here. Now on this front, now this portrait mode, the blur looks a little bit stronger for the iPhone 10, and the OnePlus 6 did a fantastic job as well, but just a little bit darker. Now here for this panoramic shot, the iPhone 10 did a great job. I always thought iPhones did good with the panoramic shots, but the OnePlus 6 also does very good detail here. Just a little bit dimmer, but you could just easily brighten that up in post. Now this next construction cone I took a picture of, the orange is just very orange and the dirt just very dark on the iPhone 10, brings out a lot of detail. So I think the iPhone 10 a little bit better here than the OnePlus 6 on this one. Now in the bricks, again, the detail a little bit stronger for iPhone 10. You really got to look close for these details, but the OnePlus 6 is doing a fantastic job in comparison to the iPhone 10. Next up, it's pretty much equal. I could not really distinguish a difference here. Yes, the flowers are a little bit more saturated for the 10, but this can go either way because one filter would change the game on either one of these photos. Now here on this flower, you can see that the OnePlus 6 definitely has a stronger blur in the background, but there's more detail in that background for the iPhone 10 on the grass below the flower. So if we get in a little bit closer here, you can see that it picked up some detail below that flower in the grass on the iPhone 10, whereas a lot more blurry on the OnePlus 6, but you might prefer more blur for the OnePlus 6. And here is the original picture once again between them, so you can kind of see them back in the normal photo mode. So I want to take a look at some green here and look at the yellow flowers in that bush at the bottom. The iPhone 10 has more detail there, but the OnePlus 6 is more vibrant. Now on this next photo, you can see that the iPhone 10 has a better detail in the grass, and the green trees behind this sculpture here is definitely a little more realistic on the 10, but a very vibrant, colorful photo on the OnePlus 6. Very hard to distinguish. I think you would like either of these. Back to the panoramas, I took one here at Diversity Harbor in Chicago of the Chicago skyline. You could see the boats and everything looks pretty great. The OnePlus 6 actually a little bit brighter, and I actually preferred this photo over what Apple's iPhone 10 did in this one. Now on the zoom, the iPhone 10 you can see can zoom farther in on the Willis Tower. This is exactly 5.1 miles from this building, and that's pretty far, but the OnePlus 6 cannot get in quite as far, so that's a win for the 10. Now this really showcases that natural look on the iPhone 10 versus the vibrancy for the OnePlus 6 in this flower macro, but some are going to prefer that more colorful popping look of the OnePlus 6, so it's a very good contender. iPhone 10 on the left, you can see definitely again looks very natural. OnePlus 6 boosts up the colors a little bit more saturated. I prefer the OnePlus 6 on this photo. It's daytime, I want some popping photos. iPhone 10, you can see right here, zooms in further on the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier, Chicago. OnePlus 6 on the right, definitely can't get in